It's 8 o'clock in London, 3 p.m. in Philadelphia, and all around the world it's time for positive mental attitude.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong, please, 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 please? I am live, apparently. And yes, I can't get it to... Oh, can I? Can I? I think maybe I have fixed the Twitch issue, which means that I'll be streaming to nobody, but at least I'll be streaming to them. And if as a result I've made this stream look worse, let me know and I will just bollock Twitch off completely and carry on with my wonderful, wonderful people on here. Yes, you can hear me. I am live. I am indeed live, Casper. Who have we got? The usual suspects. Casper, how are you doing, mate? You okay? Mandy? Yeah. And Kirsty, how are you doing? You two alright? Fantastic. Bollock Twitch, yes. I've had a few bollock Twitches in my time, to be honest with you. Normally at Everton games. T-shirt in this weather for a start. Speaking of which, domestics out of the way. There is no fire alarm planned, so if one goes off, make your way to the nearest entrance or exit even. And I apologise for the fact that I am a scruffy looking bastard with no ironed t-shirt because I've only got one arm. Feel sorry for me. I couldn't do it. I had a shower not long before I started the stream, so I just grabbed something. The first thing I could grab hold of, and it needs ironing. It needs a smooth. Bad man, needs a smooth, but you know, it's only us, isn't it? It's only the Sunday night chat. Me, you and Twitch. Just make sure that yes, just making sure that Botrix is working well. It needs to join the chat at some point soon. Yes, sympathy vote. I'm not too proud to go for the sympathy vote, obviously. Always trying, always trying. Oh, it does need a press. Kirsty, it really does. Casper, if it was smell-o-vision, you'd be happy because I'm using very, very nice... what was I using today? Original mint sauce gel, shower gel, which is fantastic. Smells lovely. I have fantastic deodorant and aftershave on, despite the fact that I've obviously not shaved. And all my clothes always smell very nice. But it's just not ironed, unfortunately, because that's not something I've managed to get around to yet. Cologne by Wayne Rooney. Wouldn't that be called Colleen? Colegene. My dad knows Colleen's family. I think he knows a dad and a granddad. I think I've mentioned that before, haven't I? Hiya, Bite. How's it going? Yeah, Colleen would do. I think that they should do that, shouldn't they? If they haven't done it already, they should do. So, how's things going? Are we all alright? Are we all fine? Are we all fine and dandy? Is there snow everywhere? We're supposed to have some, but there's none at all. It's just a little bit of rain. I went out for a walk earlier on. Took me home to Tesco, and I was waiting in the car in the car park, and I suddenly started feeling a little bit chilly, which it wasn't. It was 5 degrees, which is, you know, surprisingly warm for what is really winter. And then when I went for a walk a little bit later on, I had me big fleece Sully from Monsters Inc. hoodie on, and I was alright. Felt great. A little bit of rain, nothing much, but I felt alright. Ironing is smoothio in Welsh, pronounced smoothio. I've seen that before. I like that. There's that famous thing where apparently the microwave is called Poppity Ping, but it's not, is it? That's just an urban legend. Whereas in Dutch it is called a magnetron. And I think the Dutch word for a microwave sounds fantastic. It sounds like a transformer, doesn't it? All hail magnetron. No snow, just rain. Sounds about right. No snow in Wales, just cold, but still cold. Of course it is. It's always bloody cold in Wales, isn't it? Even during the summer. That's what you get for living somewhere nice. There's a wind coming in, howling and howling. The wind always howls in, doesn't it, from the Irish Sea? George Clooney is 1/4 Irish and Wayne Rooney is 3/4 Irish. Of course. Clooney and Rooney. Nowhere near as cold as where Casper and Hadwig are, definitely. Netherlands was always ridiculously cold when we lived there, but it didn't feel as cold as England because there's no moisture there in the air. It's dry, so you can get away with it. Whereas all our friends used to come over to Liverpool and they were always moaning about how cold it was. You say it's just 1 degree below freezing. Why are you moaning? It's because of the amount of water, moisture in the air. You got loads of snow and cold. You got a snowstorm coming tomorrow as well. Tomorrow morning, wrap up warm, Casper. Make sure you wrap up warm, mate. Another in Welsh is popty. Is that why they thought of it? Pretend it's called popty ping, and then people will believe it because I'm sure people will believe anything about the Welsh language. Right, we're going to do a test. See if this pops up anywhere. It might not do, it might do, you never know. Probably won't because buttons and things, you know what I mean? No. Why is that not working? Why is this whole... Why do nothing work? Why do nothing work? Profile, fabulous. Right, well, it's plugged in, man. It's plugged in. Why isn't it working? Nothing showing up on the Botrix, is there? No, nothing showing up from Twitch on Botrix. Which means, obviously, that Botrix prefers YouTube over anything else. I thought it would have popped up because it's definitely on the restream chat. But we don't want restream chat. We want Botrix, man. With a bot fam. With a bot fam. But there you go, anyway. I do like big mugs, by the way. This is tea at the moment because I had to make one quickly before starting this. But don't forget, if you like coffee, go to the Charcoal Coffee Company if you're delivering to the UK. It is fantastic stuff and the link is in the description below. You will not be disappointed. It is wonderful stuff. Look for it in 15 minutes. One shall and one will carry on messing about with Botrix and things. If you have a look on the screen, Botrix is showing the YouTube icon for the YouTube messages. It's just not showing anything at all for Twitch. We'll do another test again, see if that works. Test again. There it is. It's on the restream. It's not showing anywhere else. I wonder why. I thought I'd cocked up by not restarting the recopying rather the link and putting it into OBS again. Thought maybe because I've linked everything to that now I'd need to recopy and paste. And no, I didn't have to. It's still shite. Let's have a look. But it got down to minus 16.5. The moisture in the air is due to the proximity to the water, over 97% in most of the country. Yeah, because of where you are and just the shape of the physical shape of the country, you are near water, so it will feel ridiculously cold there. If, on the other hand, you are in the middle of Europe, away from the water, away from the seas, and away from everything, it doesn't feel anywhere near as cold. Over the year, Denmark's average air humidity is over 82%. Again, that's what happens when you're right by the water. happens everywhere. Some places it's really good. It's helpful. In some places it's freezing cold and horrible. In other places it is cloyingly hot and sticky and you can't move. It was a bit like that when they opened the plane doors at the airport in Cuba. Absolutely crazy. Felt like someone had opened an oven door and then it was really, really sticky, moist that particular day. Horrible. The mysteries of tech, yep. Or is that the tech of mystery? Either way, it's bloody annoying, I know that. Never more than 26 miles from the coast in Denmark. I think it's in the UK, you can never be any more than 70 miles from the coast, which in itself is a lot more than Denmark, obviously, but it's nothing. I mean, what's 70 miles? That's someone's driveway in Australia, that, isn't it? That's where Daniel would go in his truck to go and get some milk. It's just all about scale, mate, all about scale. Depends which way the wind's blowing. Yep, it does, but mostly the wind will blow off the water onto the land because that's just the way the leper crumbles. Yes, Casper, that's Birmingham it is. That's, I think, somewhere within Birmingham is the furthest possible point you can get away from the coast, and even then, 70 miles. Everywhere else, once you start moving slightly north or south of Birmingham, or, you know, obviously east or west, but north or south, you're that much closer. You think it's rugby? Oh, is that where it? Well, rugby's in the Midlands as well, isn't it? But even so, anywhere, so the Midlands is the only place, isn't it? That's the one where you're furthest away from. Even then, bloody hell, the Midlands. North Wales isn't that far away. I suppose the East Coast isn't that far away. Yeah, so it's rugby. Is rugby East Midlands? I don't know, I should know these things, shouldn't I? Got a feeling it's supposed to be East Midlands. I did do geography in school. I was there, honest. I went regularly. But even after staying on in school for 2 years, I left in 1991. You know what I mean? So I've forgotten one or two things, including the town of Rugby, Eastern Warwickshire. Where's it close to? Right, so it is still West. It is still West Midlands, isn't it? It's not Birmingham, but still West Midlands. All right, Daventry, Coventry, and Daventry, and Leamington Spa. We've got family in Leamington Spa. My dad used to go there all the time. It's in the middle, of course it is. It would have to be, wouldn't it? Really, that's the whole point of it. Land heats up quicker but loses heat quicker as well compared to water. That takes long to heat up but keeps the water longer. Yep. Also, it wicks away the heat from you a lot quicker though. The real place longest from the coast, most by Summit Camp on the highest point, is in the middle of the ice sheet in Greenland, of course. Greenland, it's much bigger than Denmark, isn't it? It's a massive place. Barnsley, how you doing, mate? Southport Prom is probably further away. It feels like it. It's closed at the moment, I think, Southport Prom. I'm sure there's an issue with it, which is a shame because it'd be a nice place to go down at the moment. And I would take a telephoto lens and a telescope and my phone with 100 zoom on it and see if I could see the merest suggestion of water, because still haven't seen it. We had the high tide the other day. A couple of bits of grass got damp. Yeah, in the Danish realm, Casper, yeah. Again, we've had this, haven't we, where like the highest point in Spain is on Tenerife, which is not in Spain, but it's Spanish territory. But it's one of those quiz questions that you need to know, in the same way that the furthest point in Denmark from the coast would be in the middle of Greenland. Yep, any snow there yet, Barnsley? Any snow? Any snow in Manchester? in the area. There normally should be, just because of where it is. All that warm, moist air coming in from the Gulf Stream in the west, hitting the Pennines, moving up to the cold air that's coming from the Arctic and the Urals and all over Eastern Europe, creating loads of snow, and it falls over Manchester and Huddersfield and places like that. Greenland is about 900,000 square miles. And then it's looked after, isn't it, by those two fellas with a dog sled and a gun. And that's not just to stop people trying to nick oil out of there. It's also to protect themselves against polar bears and weird shit like that. So Greenland's technically a county in the Danish realm. Very nice. Didn't last say it had snow? Yeah. You will do there, just because of where it is in the country, definitely. Stretches over 24 lines of latitude. That is heavy salad, that, mate. That's a long, long way, that. A long country. Right, so the west coast is where most live. About 95% live on the west coast, and everywhere else is just wild. Oh, well, it makes sense. A bit like Australia, isn't it? A continent in itself, massive, huge, huge place, and 103% of the people live at the coast. Cumbria had loads, yeah, loads of snow. I've seen some of that. There's videos on YouTube of how bad it was there. But again, they suffer from the same kind of thing because they've got the mountains or the hills, wherever, around there. That forces a lot of the warm air up to meet the cold air, and you get snow there as well. Which I suppose is why the likes of Southport and Liverpool and what have you, we don't get hit anywhere near as much. We miss a lot of that. Yeah, so the east is patrolled by Special Forces soldiers in Greenland. I've seen that on a BBC documentary. They mentioned that. And of course, they spoke absolutely perfect English. Much better than the people that were doing the interview, I would have thought. Greenland has 0.0025 people per square kilometre. That is insane. That really is crazy, considering how big the place is. Well, obviously, there's not going to be anywhere there, is there? But that just is bizarre. How few? Of course you all do. Well, smear us lol. Yep. You do, actually. It's good for us, because we are ignorant Englanders. None of us ever try and learn the language. Says the smug bastard sat here who can speak Dutch, German and Spanish. But that was accidental. Nuuk, the biggest city in Greenland, has a mall. Oof. Next thing you know, you'll be telling me they've got electricity. Should do. I mean, obviously Greenland's it's a massive, massive place. Very sparsely populated, but you still need all mod cons, don't you? Greenlanders must be huge. You'd think so, apart from the fact that we as humans don't have any natural predators, but if you go to somewhere like that, you do, because the polar bears will eat absolutely anything, including humans. Yeah, are you Googling top facts about Greenland, Casper? Is that what you're doing? Or are you just the oracle when it comes to Greenland? It could be that. You never know, Mandy. Casper could be the person who writes the facts on Wikipedia and Google and things. We could be doing him a disservice here. Trying to be positive today as well, so it's been a positive day on Positive Mental Attitude. My daughter, who is working every day or going to college and then working every day, I had to take her to the station yesterday and then pick her and her mate up from the station at about 11:30 last night. And I thought I was going to have to do the same again today, but she's getting a lift down there with someone else who works there, and he's getting a lift home, so I don't have to go out later. I didn't have to go out this morning. She rang me and told me. So I was lying in bed when I spoke to her, and instead of having to get up and go out in the freezing cold, I finished the call, put the covers back over and went back to sleep. So I was delighted with that. I had an actual lie-in for a change. Still got to take me niece to work tomorrow morning because her car's not back from the mechanic. But hopefully it'll be done for Tuesday and she'll be able to drive herself. I can't wait for that because she just seems like she feels like her legs have been cut off and it's horrible to see. As much as I don't mind driving her at all, it'd be nicer if she can go and do it herself. I think that'll be a huge thing for her, getting back behind the wheel. But once that's done, I've got to come home and do some work. Work, that is like loads of work. And then I'm off for the rest of the week. Right, so I am going to proper enjoy myself this week. I'm going to get the stuff done that I couldn't get done the other week when I was off. Got my whiteboard with stuff written on it. I'm going to start ticking things off. And then I might, if I do something, I might just add it to the whiteboard and then tick it off at the same time anyway. Your uncle sailed there for nearly 50 years. That made you love the place, and you know a lot of Greenlanders. That's the kind of thing I like. That if you've got some kind of experience, some personal attachment to somewhere, because your uncle was there for 50 years sailing, that's the kind of time when you should be interested. What I don't like is obviously things like Norwegians coming to Liverpool to watch the football. You know, and Man United have it just as bad with people appearing from all over the world. People with absolutely no connection. I mean, I've got mates who live down south. Mates from Birmingham and Stafford and places who were born there. But because the family are all blue and are from Liverpool, they've been brought up just to be proper Evertonians, and they are. They go week in, week out, home and away. They have that connection. That's the reason why they support them. Just picking them off the back of a newspaper. Oh, I like the look of the shirt, or I like him, or I like Cristiano Ronaldo, so I'll follow that team. Ridiculous. Yes, Casper, what is the weirdest fact about Greenland? Mandy, yes, another week off. I deserve it. Do you not think? I've worked really, really hard dropping people off here, there and everywhere. I've been getting called Parker and Mr. Uber for the last couple of weeks. I've been put down on my car insurance that I'm only going to be doing about 6,000 miles a year because that's all I normally do. And yeah, I've got to like 5,000 already since May. So I'm going to end up doubling what I've done so far. But, fuck them. Their insurance company, they're already making a bastard fortune off us. Yeah. For thousands of years, they've done a bow rescue. If you fall over in the kayak, you've got to do a 360 rotation. Yeah, I've seen that before as well. It's awesome but scary in cold open water. And you've seen them train there as well. Yeah, I've seen the it used to get called an Eskimo roll, didn't it? If you were in a kayak upside down, you had to learn how to do it. Rocks in your backpack and stuff like that. Yeah. Crazy stuff. But it's got to be done, otherwise if you're upside down in a kayak in water, you will be breathing in water very, very quickly, and that's not a good way to be. It ain't healthy, mate, know what I mean? In the local indoor pool, yep. Training in the pool because it's in a controlled environment. But you've seen the hunters on film do it in Sjorapluk, in the northernmost part of Western Greenland. Yeah. No indoor swimming pool to do it in there. Get out in the water and show me you can do this. Otherwise you're not being allowed out because you'd be a danger to yourself. I know, fucking hell, I know. Yeah, I don't think I'd fancy kayaking in this weather either. I think kayaking is, it looks amazing. It looks incredibly dangerous. The water looks cold as it is. This kind of weather and being out there, nah. F that sky high. And Kirsty, you do need to know more about that rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole you have not delved into yet. You need to follow your name and go and head first down there. In Greenland, you can buy guns in the grocery store. Oof. That always gets me. I mean, we know Americans are absolutely mental when it comes to guns. You know, that's no offence to them, just they are. This idea that you can go to Walmart and buy your food and a gun and armor-piercing bullets is just beyond me. But they had a thing years ago, which I remember seeing. A bank were doing come in and open an account with us, and we will give you a free hunting rifle and ammunition. Of all the places on earth not to hand someone a gun and ammunition would be in a bank. Crazy. Cray, and not in a good way. Not handguns, only for hunting. Well, that makes sense. And I'm sure it would have to be very, very controlled there as well. You can't just barge in. We couldn't just go in there and start buying loads of shit because they'd be onto it straight away. Yep, no name changing ages, Kirsty. Yeah, because you're right into it, right into your rabbit hole. So yeah, how you doing? How's things? Lovely to see you. Just seeing that I'm live and alive with a dead ahead sound. Don't worry that you can't stay. It's just nice to see you pop up on the screen. Fantastic. It's always nice to see people turning up. I know a few of us have had messages off Lizzie as well, haven't we? So it's nice people are reaching out. I think we're very, very honoured to be part of a community that looks after each other and looks out. So always nice to see people. No Streamlabs here either. Just simple OBS going into Restream. So the theory is I can control all of this, in theory, but I can't. Because for some bastard reason, Twitch chat is not appearing on Botrix. Do I need to go and watch more videos on this stuff? I went and watched one last week when I come off because I was a black screen on Twitch. I worked out how to do it. So there is stuff out there. There is stuff I can learn more. I like learning about technology. Lizzie Covizzi, yep. Absolutely full of it, isn't she? That's what happens when you go around licking door handles though, isn't it? We need to have a word with her about that. We need to have an intervention. It's not good. Yeah, Kirsty's going to change the name when you least expect it. Going to change it to the Spanish Inquisition, aren't you? No one would expect that. Keeps people on their toes as well. Fair play. Still twitching. Twitching like a rabbit's nose. No more licking coins. Nothing like that. Go look after yourself, man. It's coming back, isn't it? Homeless men called Leslie. Yep. I've got a friend who lives in the Isle of Man, and I'm horrible with her. I mean, genuinely, absolutely horrible with her. To the point where I'm surprised she still talks to me. Well, she does because she loves me. I'm one of her mates that won't take any shit off her, and I will tell her straight how I feel. And I think a lot of people like that, don't they? If you're someone who's just being honest with you. So when she said to me the other week that she was feeling a bit ill, I did say to her, stop sucking off tramps, as you do. To which point she said, but I like it so much. And that made me laugh. I thought, well, that's when you know you've got a really good friendship with someone, when you can insult them absolutely 100% to the face and they still just laugh it off. I like that. I miss seeing me mates like that, the ones I used to work with. Yeah, kissing dogs. Why do people do that? You kiss a dog, and what does a dog do? 5 minutes before you kiss it, goes and licks its bollocks. Yeah, at least in Dan's there's loads of spanners, so you won't guess your name change. You should have mates like that. It is awesome. So that's the kind of thing that I do sort of. I miss that. There's a viciousness to your workmates, the ones that you're with. I mean, if you're working for 8 hours a day, and then you have to travel on top of that, and you sleep for 8 hours a day, pretty much means that the people that you work with are the ones that you spend more time with, even more time than your family. And it's just, it's nice to have that sort of vicious relationship. And it's not just the lads. As I say, she lives in the Isle of Man now, but when she was over here, give as good as she got. Plenty of people like that, so we like that. Yep. It's always the giveaway, that, isn't it? Some random name pops up into a chat, goes, I can't find my charger. Right, must be Kirsty. Gotta be her. Yep, there is a brutal honesty that builds a health armour of self-irony. Couldn't have put it better myself, Cass, but that's a great way of putting it. And I think it's nice to have people around you that you can do that with. Mostly it's just your family that you can do that with, but when you've spent a long time working with people, or you've known someone for, like, from school days and things, you're able to do that. There's also, you'll find there's some people that appear in your life. You always know that, or the sign of a really good friendship is if you can spend a couple of hours in the room with them and not say a word at all and not feel uncomfortable, then you know that's one of your best mates. Anybody watching on Twitch? Me. I think that's it. Just me. I wonder if, I don't think mine would count. I mean, it's obviously it's not my normal Twitch account. It's a separate one I've got, obviously, because I've got loads of accounts everywhere. I've got one to keep an eye on myself, but I don't know. I don't even know where you go to have a look at your stats. Manage your channel direct. Stream manager. Your last stream hit a record 2 concurrent viewers. If you average 3 concurrent viewers and you get so many hours up, you end up, you can make money on it straight away. So you don't have to wait like you do with YouTube. 1 viewer, 1 follower. The same viewer is the same follower. Me, but a different me. I'm the reason the rhyme on Twitch as well as Tricadelic, because, well, you've got to, haven't you? Just to see if it's working. It's not cheating, honestly, it's just seeing if it's working. Kirsty has a plan. Evil laugh. Mwahaha. Well indeed, well indeed. You get mates on the inside that you wouldn't consider mates as soon as you step out. It's weird, like a substitute for the real thing. Well, yeah. In those circumstances, I think being all stuck in together, you either get on with someone or there's a problem. There's no in between, is there? Yeah, either the sound or you've got issues. So I suppose it would be somewhere where you would end up getting close to people that normally you wouldn't look twice at. That's just the way it is, as Bruce Hornsby once said. I met him once in the range. Saf, how you doing, mate? Salutations from the south of the equator. That's what we like to say. Am I seeing things, or did Sheffield Wednesday win again this week? I tried to watch a little bit of the football highlights, but there was boxing on as well, plus my daughter. I had to go and pick her up, so I was out and about in the cold. You haven't missed anything, Saf, not a thing yet. Apart from my mate in the Isle of Man sucking off tramps and Lizzie licking door handles. I think that's about it, really, isn't it? I am going to have to clip that little bit and send it to her as well, by the way. Just so she knows that she's getting a shout out in the lives. Yeah, you beat Blackburn 3-1. Great result against a very good team as well. That. Onwards and upwards. My mate Gary will be happy. He's a massive Wednesdayite. Lots of talk about Greenland as well. Yeah, you did. Not just talk, Mandy. That's just, that's not even skimming the surface. Lots of facts about Greenland as well. It's worth watching this back on repeat if you can. For nothing else than me getting extra watch time. But yeah, met a guy that didn't have contact with his family because they work in the National Bank and would lose their job if they had contact with a criminal. He committed 17 armed robberies. No wonder if you work for the National Bank you can't talk to a family member who's done that. 17 armed robberies. That's a proper professional, that, isn't it? 2-game unbeaten streak. Well, that's what we like to see. Oh yeah, snow. We've mentioned snow as well. Looks moist, looks damp, but no snow out there. Not even, we're supposed to have it, but it changes every time you look at the weather forecast. It says snowing in 2 hours, and then 2 hours later, snowing in 2 hours. And it's supposed to be a little bit sleety at the moment, and it's not. And then just rain for the rest of the night, which I don't mind, because if it's raining it means that it's not as cold. Yeah, Kirsty's evil plans, which will be very, very in-depth and complicated and intricate, and then will fall apart within seconds when she says, "Oh, I can't find my charger." Obviously, that's our Kirsty for you. Greenland and the Faroes have tons of facts about my lovely realm. That's nice to see. Obviously, there's lots of people who don't give a shit about where they live. Me being half of them. I don't mind where I live, and I don't mind where I come from, but England is an absolute toilet, and I've got no time for it whatsoever. So I'd rather just be in the Independent People's Republic of Liverpool and our little enclave, the Monaco. Cape Town City FC have won 6 in a row on the top of the league. Fantastic. Up the Batmen. They've got to be called Batman. They've got to be called the Batman, aren't they? If they're Cape Town, come on. That'd be a great nickname for the Cape Town Football Club. Fiddle Jeff Neighbourhood. Oh, yeah. Don't mention him. Do not mention him. Jeez, Kirsty, don't mention Jeff. Don't mention him. Or Kartik. We don't like Dinesh Kartik either. He's a knob. I hate him. Yeah, it's spelled differently, but you hear pharaohs and think pyramids. Although not seeing many whales butchered in Egypt, so slightly different. The drug dealer felt he was better than the wife beater. I felt they were better than the rapists, and yeah. Well, there's a pecking order, isn't there, in jail, where they're all on a level till you get to the bottom, where the ones who shall not be mentioned on this particular thing, the ones who sound like they are swimming trunks, speedos, they end up quite rightly getting battered everywhere and stabbed and things, which, to be fair, I don't know, it's not nice, is it, doing that to a fellow human being? But if you are going to do it, pick the people correctly, and it'll be them lot. My uncle used to be in and out of jail all the time. Always for robbery and things. I used to say they were constantly putting sugar in boiling water and throwing it on the those particular offenders. Slidey thing, Jeff. Don't be mentioning Jeff, man. Mandy, don't you know these things? Speak of the Jeff and he will appear. We don't want that. He's an evil, blue-tinted bastard. Or Tales from the Crypt with Jeff. You had to bring him up, didn't you? You had to mention him. Oh well, let's see what he's been up to. Chester Zoo is different than you remember as a kid. Just saying, that looks completely different than I remember it. Paddling in the sea off Blackpool. The Paris to the north, it looks fantastic there, doesn't it? Wembley 1985, Devodla. Ah well, that would explain a hell of a lot. That really would explain loads. So Jeff is an Evertonian. No wonder he's so evil. 1985, I've still not got over that. We won the league, we won the European Cup Winners' Cup, and then we played Man United in the FA Cup final 3 days later, and they were just too tired. They had a player sent off, and Norman Whiteside scored, who then went on to play for Everton. Gutted. But, you know, yeah, Fit Jeff in Blackpool. Fit Jeff seems to be appearing far too often for my liking in this. Although, to be fair, if he carries on and I keep some of these together for next year, there could be a 2025 Fit Jeff calendar, couldn't there? I'm sure there'll be some takers for that. Harry, goedenavond. Hoe gaat het? Alles goed? You haven't missed too much, apart from loads of snow. 637 facts about Greenland. And whale hunting in Egypt. Oh, and Jeff. Fail snow here. Lots of snow there. There you go. Still none here. Although my car's fully covered and it's got the screen, it's got magnets around it. That's how fantastic this thing is. It's got hidden magnets inside the screen that you put over it. And it's got little ear condoms that you put on the wing mirrors. Fantastic stuff. I'm so happy with it. 15 quid. That's all it cost of Amazon. And it's saving me, or it has saved me like 10 minutes every morning. Instead of scraping stuff off the windscreen. That's Jeff in whale hunting in Egypt. Yep. Jeff and the Pharaohs. I've been having a fair old time with the Pharaohs. Having a whale of a time. Jeff's evil, man. You've got to be careful around Jeff. Just quickly checking what's going on here. Checking the loyalty system. Yes, he has, but he's in denial. He's out of the boat and in denial. Jeff's been everywhere, man. I still haven't decided how old Jeff is, or haven't found out how old Jeff is yet. But he's been around for centuries, hasn't he? He's seen some things, man, and some stuff. Sounds better than it types. Yeah, it's a bit clunky, isn't it, the way it types, but the way it rolls off the tongue is fabu. Plus, of course, when it comes from the sonorous, soporific Scouser, it sounds simply sensational. The whales that they kill in Greenland is done like they have done for thousands of years, and it's a kill one and share it out for the village. Whale steak is supposed to be amazing. That's fair enough, if that's all it was. But things like the Faroe Islands, they have the ritual slaughter, don't they, every year, where they just kill as many whales as they can. There's no way on earth they're going to keep on eating that between them. It's just seems to be part of the, not religion, but, you know, tradition of the place. Just, it's not good. Whale steak is supposed to be amazing. Big though. You know what I mean? You don't need too many chips if you're having a whale steak. Yep, Jeff built the hospital he was born in. He did. He also performed his own caesarean section. True story. Yeah, not that there's many vegetables to eat in Greenland. As I think Al Murray mentioned. Stupid that Greenland is called Greenland when it's full of ice. Iceland is called Iceland when it's completely green. Had we had whale in Iceland, it wasn't anything special. Yeah. I had Wookiee steaks once. They were a little chewy. Horrible, that. Horrible. Can't be doing Star Wars in jokes, can I? Star Wars dad jokes. The Pharaohs have done that every year for over 1,000 years. They don't have trees. It's basically 10 degrees Celsius all year round. They need food for the year. But the amount that they slaughter, there's no way they can possibly eat all of that. Just seems to be crazy. That's why they kill the pilot whales. I feel sorry for pilot whales. The worst ones are the right whales, aren't they? Ever heard of them called right whales? And they're called right whales because when, I think it was the Brits went to near Antarctica, these were so inquisitive that they just came up to the boats. So they were the right whales to slaughter. And that's why they call them right whales. Stupid. Are there trees in Greenland? If there are, I'm sure there would be the most hardy trees you can possibly get, because Greenland just seems to be a complete sheet of ice from what I've seen. There's no indoor pools, we've decided, haven't we? There might be, but I've just decided. It's my stream, so I'm saying there's no pools, indoor pools in Greenland. That's just the way I am. I read dripping facts. Dracula is laying on your right arm, so you're typing left-handed. Had a week, fair play to you. You are typing with your wrong hand in your wrong language, and you're still making more sense than I do. Until Iceland left Denmark, the UK was allowed by Denmark to whale in Icelandic water. Yep. And I don't think it was that long ago, really, that we stopped whaling. Because we used, not for food, but a lot of the whale blubber was used in oil manufacture, wasn't it? For lamps and for putting in lipsticks and things like that, cosmetics and what have you. Yeah. 50,000 people eating whales. Mandy, do people in Wales eat pharaohs? No, just to balance things up, a little bit of yin yang. They have a forest in the south, but other than that, no trees. So Greenland does have it would have to be in the south, wouldn't it? Because, let's face it, any further north, there's just going to be polar bears, nothing else. The southernmost point of Greenland is as far south as Oslo. That would make it further south than most of Scotland. I think Edinburgh is on the same line of latitude as Oslo. So bottom of Greenland is on the same line of latitude as Edinburgh and Glasgow, which is fairly insane. Don't kill a pilot whales for fun. They have a yearly record over 800 years. I know it's all part of the way they do things, but 2023, you know what I mean? It's not the 1200s anymore. A lot of this stuff needs to stop. And again, it's all part of the delicate ecosystem, the balance that we've got. When you overfish, then that changes how everything, all the stocks work. If you kill the whales, then something else happens. Again, we've mentioned this with the wolves in northern Scotland. Without them, the place is completely barren. There's no trees, there's nothing. Because the deer just get run ragged. It's crazy. Iceland used to have 40% trees and they imported sheep. John O'Groats is over 1.5 degrees latitude further south than Oslo. So the whole of, I'm sure it was, I might have looked at something different then, but I thought Edinburgh was on the same line. Maybe not. Ah well. Now they have one forest in total. Yeah. When did I go over 3,000 subs? No idea. But what I have noticed is a lot of the old shorts that I've done, and I mean old, going back almost a year, loads of them have suddenly gone from 20 or 30 views to suddenly having 300 or 400 or a couple of thousand. Just seems to be, if you have videos on YouTube, leave them, and eventually they will find someone to watch. And loads of them are getting watched. I've got loads and loads of views. Not a single one of them will add to the watch hours because shorts do not count. But, 3,000 is pretty well good going, isn't it? Let's face it. Let's see where we are. 3,391. 1,169 watch hours. 13,000 public shorts views in the last 90 days. That, loads of them will have dropped off from the World Cup last year. So I'm gonna lose things like the my highest one was about 7,000. That's come off. Mind you, these are only 90 days, aren't they? So some of the old ones are getting watched, but again, it just doesn't count. Unless a few of them go absolutely stratospheric and I start getting millions of views. Just got to keep grinding the hours, man. Deserves a party. We need a party. An alcohol-free red wine. That will be raised later. I don't think the Faroese should starve because they say, well, whales are one of the smart animals we shouldn't kill. Now, that's fair enough, but again, as an entire globe, we need to start protecting the environment that we live in the same way that we shouldn't just allow huge industrial nations to choke the air with CO2 just because they provide, like China can't just get away with being 25% of the world's CO2 emissions just because they make cheap manufactured goods for the rest of the world. It needs to change. Yeah, Scotland having no trees, the rivers are starting to dry up. Certain species of salmon, they really are in danger. I've seen that as well. It's we need to be careful. There is a balance to the globe, and we need to be the ones who are now looking at this. And you can't just say because the Faroe Islands is part of the tradition, so it should continue. Because slavery was the tradition of Brits and the Deep South in the US and shouldn't be allowed to continue. Know what I mean? Natural hunting doesn't exterminate species. Well, it does, Casper, unfortunately. And we've got evidence of that all over the place. Loads of things have gone defunct because of man, because we've hunted them. The dodo died out because we hunted them to death. And natural hunting, there's no such thing as natural hunting by us. That doesn't exist. Everything we've had to do as a species, we've had to learn, and but it's something needs to change. Still trying to find a good alcohol-free red wine. If you find one, let me know. I'm happy with the one I've got, but I'm quite happy to try a few different ones. Congratulations, thank you, Kirsty. Appreciate that. We should end 80% of our livestock farming. Yeah, at some point that will happen. It will reduce because it is completely unsustainable on the planet. And there's more and more vegetarians coming through who don't really want to rely on beef for a start. So instead of giving all the vegetables that we grow to cows to then go and slaughter and make burgers, it'll eventually change its way, I think. But we'll get there. And if we don't, humanity will die out because we're a load of fucking idiots who can't see what's happening in front of us. People hunted a mammoth, yet. One bird on a small island. No, but Casper, it's the same thing. We are continuing to hunt constantly. Humans are doing it all over the world at the moment. We're fishing things to the point of extinction of species within the sea. And if you do that, you then harm the balance within the sea. And once you do that and you harm the balance within the sea, the whole infrastructure changes. The seas can end up dying. And if the seas die, the planet dies. So we need to look after that. The animals on the land, if you overdo too much, you upset the balance with them, and then we end up completely fucking the world up. So yeah, you need large predators to hunt deer so they won't be overgrazing. They need to bring wolves back to Scotland, otherwise it's just going to end up being completely knackered. It'll spread further up the river systems, it does. That's why we have to look after stuff. We really do. Congratulations, Haruhi leveled up to level 14. I leveled up to level 7. That's a hollow victory for me, to be honest, because I'm always here. Beef is best. Well, yeah, but it takes up a huge amount of resources, unfortunately. You just got here, yep. You must have been on the precipice waiting to just tip over into the next one. How am I levelling up without chatting? Do you not see what I'm doing? Do you not see this, Mandy? I am chatting. I'm only levelling up because Botrix keeps putting every 5 minutes another message in there. And obviously I watch every second of every stream because Botrix... In fact, no, I don't. Botrix only logs in about a minute after the stream starts. If I did chat at the same time as chatting, I'd be ahead of everyone else. It's not fair. Yeah, should eat more of them. Eat them till they're gone. That's what we should do. I'm not a vegetarian, by the way. Far from it. But you know, the world is a precarious balance, and it's just completely gone these days, unfortunately. And it will continue to do so. But one reason why I don't think I could ever become a vegetarian is because, or a vegan rather. Vegetarians, not a bad thing. Vegans, is because the absolute knobhead vegans that I've met in my life, not just the ones that are on YouTube. Just sound, you're a vegan, and I understand that you want to try and make other people vegan as well, but you know, relax. Jeff is fiddling the stats. Jeff and fiddling, yeah. Jeff looks the type who would like a good fiddle. Yeah, did you have a tough in those islands, Casper? Yeah. What does the hunting hurt me? Yeah, you defend it. That's not a problem at all. But it doesn't affect me in the slightest. But it will do. It's just, again, it's the balance, the complete balance in the ocean. If you don't balance the ocean, it dies. It goes wrong, and we need to. Really, really careful. Hunting species that are close to extinction. We've got these American dentists going over to Africa to shoot wildlife that's dying out. Once you start killing all the lions and tigers and that, the stuff that's a parasite on the land will continue to survive and thrive. It's about balance in the water, on the land, everywhere. We've upset the balance as humans, and we continue to do so. At some point, if we left the earth alone, we weren't on it, the earth would be perfectly balanced. So, you know, because nothing else would be as high up the food chain as us. You don't eat cow or drink milk, but you love cheese. Fair play. I drink almond milk in my tea. I don't have it in my coffee, because that'd be a shame to waste great coffee like this. We don't want to waste that with having milk in it. You have it as it is. Black, no sugar. Perfect. Tastes gorgeous. We keep trying to be an ovo-vegetarian, but it's difficult to let the cheese out. Do you know what? I think eat what you like. If you work hard to avoid eating things that are bad for the environment or bad for yourself, but you still occasionally have something, I think you've done most of the work there. If we eat the vegans, there'll be more veggies to feed to the cows. Barnesy, I like your thinking. That's the kind of blue sky thinking that we need. Put your name down and I'll sign. I'll second you on the form. We'll get you into politics. The Earth's core is meant to be leaking. Yep. And if it does, well, we are knackered. The core itself needs to stay the core. If it then starts changing the size, shape, and density of it, the mass, our particular planet could end up just exploding, falling apart. It needs a certain mass, a certain depth, a certain density to be able to keep the whole planet as one. And if it doesn't, we'll fragment, fracture, and lots of us will disappear to Jupiter, I would have thought, or the sun. Has that volcano in Iceland gone off yet? Does anyone know? Do we know? Faroese also need to be able to pay for shipping in essentials. They do. And if we, as the Western world, are trying to save the planet, which I don't think we are, obviously, at that point we should start looking at helping them out in paying for shipping, if it means making the place more sustainable. Which we should do also with Africa. I mean, was it Cameroon? It might not have been Cameroon, but it's going to annoy me, but I was watching a programme about one of the African nations, Cameroon, Eritrea, somewhere like that, which is completely carbon neutral. Absolutely nothing, no carbon emitted at all. In fact, they've got a carbon deficit the way they work in their country. And they're getting hotter and hotter because of CO2 in the atmosphere. They're doing nothing wrong. Why are they the ones who are being made to suffer? And they're quite unhappy about why the rest of the world is getting away with absolute murder, literally murder. We need to look at the globe as a whole. It's not just where you live on it. If you do something that affects someone else, you're out of order. In the same way that they can do something that can affect you, and we don't want that. There's always a volcano popping off somewhere. It is because the inside of the globe is an absolute melting, tumultuous turmoil. It's huge. You get alerts every day. Does that make your life easier? Yeah. I can't go out today. Why? There's a volcano going off in Papua New Guinea. Denmark already pays huge grants to both the Faroese and Greenland about the maybe third Wales, yep. So Denmark will be looking after the Faroe Islands and Greenland, otherwise they would be absolutely knackered. The CO2 in the atmosphere has gone from 0.03 to 0.04%. Yep, it seems a small amount. But then that whole thing about the straw that broke the camel's back, it is literally just a little tiny bit that will send us over the edge. Ain't no particular sign you're more compatible with. You just want your cheap red wine and your Jeff. Think about a dance now. Jeff, you need to tell me, mate, is that the Prince or the Tom Jones version? And you're not fooling anyone. So the Iceland city had sunk a shit ton. Yeah. Etna is always erupting. Thank you for the earworm, Jeff. Yeah. We also need to be really careful because of reflection, is it? No, not reflection. During the Ice Age, the weight of the ice on top of countries pushed the rock down. And now that it's melting, these countries are substantially raising up and getting higher and higher. Which would be really handy if it happened where we are, because then we wouldn't die when the sea levels go up. But it also means that a lot of places that are on the coast in certain countries will no longer have the ports the way they are. They have to be rebuilt because the port will be about 3.5 miles up in the air. It's ridiculous. The Year Without Summer is a book about the 1815 volcano that blocked out the sun and it snowed in summer and the world as a whole couldn't grow anything. Was that the one that was near Java? Somewhere in the Javanese Sea. It was the one that you could hear. It was that loud you could hear it so many thousand miles away. It was ridiculous. There's going to be a solar wind tomorrow, by the way. In that case, anybody who's got decent dark skies, get out and have a look. If there's a solar wind, you will get the northern lights, the aurora borealis, unless you live in the southern hemisphere, of course, at which point you'll have the aurora australis, the southern lights. So, Saf, keep your eye out to the sky, mate. You might see them yourself. Krakatoa it was, wasn't it? Yep. Yeah, if anyone wants to turn the electric things off. Was it a city in Sweden where everything went haywire? Sure it was. Where there was a huge solar wind and it blew up all the electric plants and what have you, and everything went knackered for a couple of days. I think New York was hit by one as well, good few years ago. And there's nothing you can do about it apart from, like Hadaway said, turn off your electrical items, put your candles on, and strum some acoustic guitar, play some love songs, man. Which I would love to be able to do, but I fucking can't. I have been using my left hand more recently, though. I bought some gloves. I ordered them yesterday. They come today. Fingerless gloves, but with a little flap on the back of them. Makes them into mittens, right? Just for going to matching because I need them badly at the moment. The one that I put my right hand, I put on within 5 seconds. It took me over 5 minutes to get my left hand into a fingerless glove. It is ridiculous, but I am going to continue doing that, taking it off and putting it back on, because that's the kind of occupational therapy I can do at home. Right, so apparently 536 was worse when a volcano also caused worldwide disruption. Yep. Once it set most telegraph stations on fire. It's crazy. In the 1800s, there's just no... I mean, in the 1800s especially, in fact, when electric first really started and we started using things, we didn't know as much as we know now. And even we know electric inside out. And we still can't really do much if we get a solar wind come through. I mean, a good solar wind, if we didn't have the magnetic field around the Earth, the magnetosphere, it would wipe away all the proper atmosphere, and we would be dead within seconds. So we need to watch out for these solar flares and solar winds. Yep, that was the one. 536. Got the prize for being the worst year. 536, I think Jeff might have been there for that one. Maybe that's why he's blue. He hasn't frozen, or he hasn't thawed out yet. He froze. Depends on whether you watch Ancient Aliens. Guess what they blame for haywire electronics? Oh, for fuck's sake. They're like Rimmer on Red Dwarf, aren't they? Everything's aliens. It's the Quagars. Double A, Quagars. Fucking aliens. Again, whenever aliens come to Earth, they always seem to hit the Bible Belt, don't they? In the deep south of America. And I've said this before, you only ever see aliens and Bigfoot in the southern section of America, which is where they also make moonshine, which, I don't know, cause and effect maybe. But if aliens were ever going to come to the Earth, they'd do better than going to the US. Go somewhere else just first. Put your foot down, understand what's going on, and then prepare yourself to go and see the States, because don't want to land straight there, man. It's just too much. Yeah, move to Canada at that point. He's got jam. You could live on jam, couldn't you? Loads of sugar and fruits in it to keep you going now. Jeff probably caused it. Wouldn't surprise me. The evil blue-tinged bastard. The solar winds amount varies and has an 11-year cycle. It does. Absolutely. So you can have some fairly calm times and some absolutely crazy ones. No aliens in your Bible Belt. Just black socks. Are they black socks though? As Father Ted showed us, priest socks are the most black socks on earth. Sometimes you can see someone with what you think is black socks, but when you look at them, they're really, 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 really dark blue. You know what? I didn't realise for years that the Netherlands had a Bible Belt, but it obviously has, hasn't it? I don't think we have. I got nine saw you off them aliens, man. Yep. If you were an alien, you'd land where nobody would believe the witnesses. Just over here, a drunk person up the road from me had said I'd just been a butt. He wasn't Canadian, was he? Yeah, I've just been a butt. Abducted. Yeah. So he'd been taken up, had he? Taken up by the aliens. Did they probe him? That's why I want to. Why do these aliens always want to probe you? You know, just sit you down and get you to fill in a form, a questionnaire. Do a quick scan like they do on Star Trek with the Widdly Wee machine. Widdly Wee, Widdly Wee, Widdly Wee. No. Always has to be a probe right up the balloon knot. We don't need that. Here is a fact. Casper is full of facts tonight. We love this. There are 400 million exoplanets in just our galaxies, and there are billions of galaxies. There are, if not trillions. So the probability, just the mathematical probability of there being life elsewhere in the known universe is pretty much guaranteed, you would think. Just because there's that much out there, there has to be the same. There's got to be a star the same size as our sun. There's got to be a planet the same distance away. There's got to be one that's got the same kind of atmosphere, liquid water, everything. There's more out there. Yeah. Or it goes from Zeeland to Urk. So it's a similar thing, isn't it, to the OS, then it's the bottom third. Most common aliens here, we have a Belgians. Ooh. Good job Lizzie's not here. She'd be protecting her fellow Belgians. Is there a name for them? Belgians. Potators, we used to call them. There we go. Goldilocks. No, Mandy, it's true. Oh, sorry, Goldilocks. We are one big TV show for them. If we are, I can only imagine it's shit, and they must have rented somewhere from Blockbusters a couple of DVDs to watch instead of watching this utter shit show that we've got. I think there's life on Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. There is definitely life on there. There's bacterial life, isn't there? There's something. So there's got to be out there. At some kind of level, there's got to be. And of course, us Brits don't want to go anywhere near that because we don't want to be in Europa. Yep. Not highly or not likely intelligent life or Brits. They'll be the ones that live in Spain that voted for Brexit. They'll be them ones. Sure, something clicked as though there was, I don't know, something electrical exploding somewhere. This be you, Hadwick. You're causing trouble on my stream here with your solar flares. No snow, no solar flares, nothing. Yep. I'm sure there's life in Uranus. I went out the other day and I could clearly see Uranus. Such a child. Europa is very nice. It looks superb. The moon, Europa. As does the actual place on Earth, Europe. We need to be back in it because this place is absolutely bollocksed. Once I've said this before and I'll say it again. Once I become supreme intergalactic emperor of the universe, I will start by demolishing Eton College. That'll be the first thing, the first day. Get in, put me hats, whatever hat I'm wearing, I put that on the hat stand. My briefcase down, and then the bulldozers will be in, and Eton will be smashed to sand. Right, so that's the theory. We're a simulation being played by higher life forms. These must be, if they're higher life forms, these must be two teenage higher life forms that are stoned and are trying to play this game and aren't getting it right. Because they need to change it. And that is basically Christianity. That's the theory. I once got asked by one of my mates in school, who was a very, very devout Christian, why don't I believe in religion, in God? I said, because I read the Bible. His face dropped. And then him and his mates spent about 3 years trying to convince me God was real. And it didn't work. We were too opinionated and too intelligent at the time for any of that shite. Bollocks to them. The oblong journey around Jupiter stretches and compresses the planet, yet making friction which causes liquid water under the ice sheet. Geysers of liquid water fly out at the poles. And this was only seen accidentally because we sent a probe that was going past Jupiter to go, I think was it Pluto it was going to? It was one of them anyway. It was right far out in the outer reaches. And he got it to turn around and just take a picture while it was going past. Is it Io? Was it Io the one? Sure it's Io the moon. It was the one that they saw, and they saw something coming out of it. So it can't possibly have molten rock as it's called because it's not big enough. And then they said, well, it's got to be ice. This is water. This has to be liquid water. And as a result, if you've got liquid water on Io or Europa, it means that life could and should exist on there. Some kind of life anyway. Yeah. You end up playing more stone people. I play against loads of them. I do you read the Old Testament, which is a bit archaic, but interesting with all the genocide and rape and slavery. Eddie Izzard, that was a big beard book, wasn't it? A big beard. And then the New Testament's very boring. That was a short beard book, according to him. I like that. And you were 12, nothing to do during the holidays. That is a punishment, having to read that. Toss Ewoks into a lake of fire. Fair enough. There is a lot of begetting in the Bible, including begetting of people who do not want to be begetted at the time. The kind of begetting that would land you in jail, hopefully, in modern days. Can I spit your reason for not believing is a year on an intermission boarding school? Yeah. It makes no sense. None of it makes any sense. Faith is belief without evidence. I'm sorry, I just haven't got the that inner fortitude to believe that something that you don't know about and can't prove exists. Just, not having it. We don't know for sure what conditions are needed for an abiogenesis. The development of life from non-life, yeah. Well, again, it depends on what life is. You can start off with single cell amoeba, protein strings and things put together, and then when they mash together, if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it dies off. So we end up going from absolutely nothing to simple life, and then from simple life to complex. But of course, that requires the Goldilocks, as Mandy said, the Goldilocks situation of being in the right area, the right temperature, liquid water, and a huge amount of time, millions, if not billions of years, for things to slowly develop. Which it did, to the point where it got to us, and now we're trying to ruin it all as quickly as we possibly can. In Denmark, most kids do a year 10 at boarding school. That's very strange, but again, if it's part of the way things are there, you'll just be used to it, won't they? Kirsty went to Catholic primary school, so you don't believe. Yes, because how can a loving God provide you with nuns at a primary school that will level the shit out of you with rulers because you've been a naughty girl. Not all nuns are Irish, by the way, but there you go. You start with amino acids. It's correct. You start off with them, and it builds and builds and builds. Yeah, but I think if God is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent, all powerful, all knowing, and all seeing, then everything that happens on the earth has happened not only with his tacit knowledge and agreement, it's been designed by him. So that would include illnesses to babies and things like that, and wars, genocides, all done with his tacit knowledge. It's ridiculous. How can you possibly believe in anything like that? Just stupid. There is one true power, and it's the sun. The sun gave us life, and it will take it away from us eventually. So, those that worship the sun, early lives that worship the sun, were right. But it's not a god, it's physics. It's a nuclear reactor in the sky. That's all it is, man. You went to Catholic primary school but didn't realise that you were supposed to believe the shit that you were telling you, or they were telling you rather later. You don't think there's a man in the sky that favours a hairless primate from a distant, lonesome corner of an average spiral galaxy in a not very interesting part of the universe? Exactly. And if they did, what kind of lunatic would that be? Dark side of the Loon. See, it was obvious why I called it the stream this today, because, this is the way things are, obviously. As well as the priest thinking you're the devil's child. Not good at all. But to be fair, Kirsty, you probably were the devil's child when you were at school, weren't you? I can imagine you, as a primary school kid, turning up, gothed up from head to toe, looking every inch the devil's child. Yeah. Interesting how fucker would I look like. Definitely. We like all this. I'm going to send another message. Because why not? There we go. This is some great content. Even Twitch agrees with us. And it's not going to show up, is it? It's just not going to show up. So I am going to have to start looking at why this isn't working. Botrix, why aren't you working? I don't really want to start putting Restream's chat up there, but there we go. I might have to at some point. Terrible, terrible behaviour. Keep pushing buttons too. And if you're watching this on a video on demand on Catch Up Not Live, try and watch some other videos as well. They're all great, honest, and it'll help with the watch time, which I desperately need at the moment. Yes, be positive. Oh, me back. Is that arm levelling up? Secret messaging on Twitch? No, Mandy. It's although I can, let's have a look. I can have a look at the Twitch profile as well, because you can log in with several things. Oh, hello. He's just decided to log himself out again there as well. That's not good. How's that managed when he's just messaged? Right. Twitch settings. I am currently on 180 points on Twitch, Botrix. And someone who sent me a message the other week, do you want to be rich and famous? Fuck off, mate, no. Send me your details now, we'll sort you out. Nah, he's on 5 points. So he can't have been so impressed, can he, really? We're doing well here, though. We are doing well. But now I'm only levelling up because Bostrix sends regular messages. Nowhere near as much as everyone in the chat does, which is why you're all miles ahead of me on there. Although, to be fair, I have got the most points. Not the most levels, the most points. You don't level up on Twitch. You'd have a completely separate... If you messaged on Twitch, you'd have a completely separate account. So that account would start again from 0. Is that what you want, Mandy? Is that what you want? Is that what you really want? We can make that happen. How do we keep it on Twitch either? Oh, don't worry about it. I'm only doing this to see if it works. And that looks filthy. That is filthy, that, isn't it? Fingerprints on that. That's disgusting. A shame to show that. Me greasy fingers. But it is working, like I showed you. Well, we are live on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. Not starting again. We'll stop bleeding moaning, Mandy. You're already at the top of the table. Stop whinging. You're like Manchester City. I know it's a football reference, but you know. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have shown me fingerprints, should I? Someone out there who's got really good technical abilities could probably take a copy of that and then 3D print it and then use me fingerprints and thumbprints to... I only ever use it for my phone, so did have to have the phone in the first place. No, forget about that. No uniform, but mum getting drunk on mulled wine. In a church with another mum and lighting up a cigarette, having to put it out, and putting them out in the holy water. Right. That's the true meaning of religion, isn't it? The true meaning of Christmas as well, all that stuff. What is mulled wine? I know what it is, but what is the act of mulling? How does one mull? What makes it mulled? What is the mulling process? Are you sick of me saying the word mull? Leave me print to the crime scene, yes. As anyone who's witnessed my RDA chat will show you, my phone is a definite crime scene. The other mum lit up a joint and put it out in the holy water as well. In the name of the Father, the Son and the Holy shit, that's some good stuff. Never had uniforms there. Sounds so British, like on British TV shows. Yeah, I remember that. Having to wear my own clothes, going to school in, going to Godfried Bowman's school in Enschede. The reason why we have it here is because if you've got a uniform, everyone wears the same. You can't have people getting bullied for not having, or not being able to afford nice clothes. So it's supposed to cut all that out. And yet people still get bullied all the time anyway, so it's a load of rubbish. Right. Casper, you heat it with raisins and almonds. That's what mulls it. You call it glug. Glug, rather. Glug, 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 glug. Maybe that's where it comes from. Mulligan tire. Mist rolling in from the sea. Funnily enough, my long gone grandfather, my dad's dad, used to always get things wrong. And he's proper old Scouser. And he used to call that song Bullabatai. I've got no idea where he got that from. He used to sing it Bullabatai. He also used to call South Liverpool the South, S-A-L-T-H. And the chair, the settee that he sat on, the Sophie, boss fella him. There's a picture of him when he was in his early 20s playing football on a place called Dutch Farm in Garston. And you would swear it was me. Not the way I look now, but when I was the same sort of age as he was, it just looked like Back to the Future. It was crazy. Absolute ringer for him. So I don't think I need a DNA test in the same way I don't think my daughter does. She inhabits too much of the Ashcroft DNA easily. Children always find something to bully about. Yeah, I think the whole point of the uniform was to try and reduce what you could bully over and to try and make people feel there's at least a bit of an even playing field to start off with. But, you know, it doesn't always work. Kirsty, you're off. No worries. You take care as well. No falling over. No breaking bones. No getting stoned in church. I put this is some great content on Twitch, just in case anyone passing and think, "Ooh, what's this? Let's check it out," and then they're going to be really confused. In fact, they're going to be really, really confused because.
But Kipper's Vindaloo. It can't be good for you.
It's Kipper's Corner.
Kippers kicks ass.
Moldovan dog bites man, but this time a president. A Moldovan dog has bit the president. Kipper says, no comment. I love trains.
Kippers kicks ass.
And there was a picture of a train on it. Oh, how cute. Didn't realise Kippers could do shitty cartoons. When I say shitty cartoons, I thought it was a great cartoon, that one. I think it showed fantastic skill from the artist, our Kippers. I love trains. Probably did. Or he did the old two Ronnies joke. Hello, does your dog bite? No. Ah, yeah, bite. I thought you said your dog didn't bite. Yeah, it's not my dog. Brunch. Dad joke. How the bleed Nell is it already 9:30? How did this happen? Flight official verification, protect property oversight. So Kirsty's now sponsored by Verizon or Verizon. How do they pronounce it? That's a US phone carrier, isn't it? How are you getting sponsorship deals and I've not got one? This is terrible behaviour. Bang out of order. Bang out of order. Yes, I'm taking a piss out of someone from London by putting on a stupid Cockney accent as well. But not as good as... This is where I miss my daughter being here, because she would have joined in with talking about a full transit. Oh, need to very quickly check something. Bollocks. Wrong channel. No. No Red Dwarf again. Vicious bastards. Love Cockneys thanks to Only Fools. That's a great programme for that. One written by a single person as well. That is just insane. How John Sullivan made up an entire world of his own. Which obviously it wasn't just a world of his own. The stuff that happened in there, he knew because he worked on the markets when he was younger. He just took stuff that's happened to him and put it on screen. And because it was so realistic, that's why it's as funny as it is. Great. Going all Danny Dyer, yeah. Keep me that down. Proper mental. Well done, John Sullivan. He didn't just write Only Fools, did he? He wrote Citizen Smith that we were talking about last week. Wolfie. Free Tootin'. He wrote that. He wrote a couple of other things as well. Just mad that you can do that and then come out with a sitcom that went on for so long that everyone was so invested in. Crazy. It is super wholesome at times as well. There's not many sitcoms that can make you laugh and cry within the space of, a couple of minutes. Like when Cassandra lost the baby and Del and Rodney are in the lift talking. To go from absolute heartbreak to laughing within seconds. And about, having a miscarriage as well, which is, it's not something that you should be joking about, but the way it was done was just absolutely incredible. It was superb bit of script writing and performance, and handled very tastefully, I thought, considering what the subject matter was. Not many people would try to do something like that, let alone get it right. Yeah, no income tax, no VAT. Black or white, rich or broke, we'll cut prices at a stroke. And we will. God bless Hooky Street. I was only watching that earlier on to Hull and back. Funnily enough, which they were in Amsterdam. Marvellous. Marvellous trying to see them come up with Dutch names. Hendrik van Cleef. Come on. Could have done better than that, mate. Yeah, Uncle Albert is a fantastic character and bizarre. Because it started off with Grandad, and then the actor Leonard Pearce died. It was just before one of the series started. They just started filming it, so we had to rewrite it completely. John Sullivan, being a genius that he was, and rewrote it so that they had Grandad's actual funeral. His character was having a funeral on TV not long after he'd had a funeral in real life. And then just decided to bring Uncle Albert into it as well to take up that third role, the older character. How do you get away with doing that? And how do you get away with having two characters as fantastic as Grandad and Uncle Albert in the same show? Just came in and took over that part brilliantly. Completely different type of actor. And he wasn't really an actor to begin with, was he? Buster Merrifield. He was a bank manager who just used to do a little bit of amateur dramatics, and I decided, I want to have a go at this. And then just fell into the role of Uncle Albert and did it fantastically. Cliff is in Germany. And Lee Van Cleef was a US actor. It's not pronounced Cleef. I felt like shouting at the screen. It's not Van Cleef. It's Van Cleef. Miami Twice is a great story as well. It is a good story, but I don't really like watching that particular double episode too much. Just, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know what it is either. Maybe it's because of the first one where they just took them completely out of the comfort zone, away from London, even though to Hull and back they went to Netherlands, but just took them away and then put them somewhere completely at odds with the way they are as characters. Just seems strange to me. You work somewhere where Only Fools is on played on repeat all day, every day, so it will have the same effect on you as Christmas music. That is 100% right, Mandy. And again, that's the reason why I hate Lynyrd Skynyrd, Freebird, and American Pie by Don McLean. The Madonna version as well, but his version especially, and those songs that used to go on forever and ever, because it was just constantly on the jukebox. I hate them. The short that I did about that got decent views as well, actually, that on YouTube. Yeah, Van Cleef, that's the one. Oh, fantastic. My niece's lift in the morning won't be from her house, it'll be from my boyfriend's house, which is just round the corner. I can almost see his house from here, which means I'll be able to zoom in there, pick her up, zoom out, zoom over, and back home in time for a Zoom call. Right, Mandy, I have the power to take all your points off you and drop you down to level 0. I hope you realise that. Do not start with those earworms. That is purely evil. There's no need for that. For fuck's sake, it's almost Christmas. The time of goodwill to all men. And you're doing that. Are you happy with yourself? Are you in league with Jeff? Evils. Absolutely evils. But to all those watching on Twitch, all you thousands on Twitch, this is great content, isn't it? You're lucky you don't know the rest of the words. I do. Do you want me to write them down for you? I know they are tattooed on the inside of my brain forever. And unfortunately, it's not in the part of the brain that exploded when I had the stroke, otherwise I'd be happy with that. It's in there somewhere. It's the first Sunday in Advent today. Is it the first day of chocolate, is it? Well, happy and Advent calendar opening to all those who participate in that shite. I don't. No thanks, you are, Roy. Sound. Yep. Best avoided is a hate-filled song. It goes on too much. Far too much. Just never ending, is it? You think if someone was in the studio while he was recording that, they'd just run up to him and hit him over the head with his own guitar and say, shut up. The moon went out. That might have been what it was earlier on. It made a little clicking noise and went off. So it needs charging. The moon is dead, man. The moon is dead, long live the moon. Here the chocolate calendar goes from the 1st to the 24th. Here Denise leaves a small gift for the child. The 4 Sundays in Advent. Alright. Sad Advent, I'm counting down to my Tia Maria. Spoken like a true rock chick there, Mandy. Well done. I've got Cold Ale Grey, which does sound like a 1800s poem, that, doesn't it? I don't know, a Lord Byron or Shelley or someone. Cold Ale Grey. But I don't have to go out. Bonus, Brucey bonus there. So what are you having with your Tia Maria? Is it a cola-based beverage? Or are you doing a Del Boy and have it with something like raspberry aid or something shite? Can't give you a Tia Maria, but we have Santa Lucia on the 13th of December. Very nice. That thing with Del Boy drinking all the weird drinks. My dad's uncle, him and his wife lived with us for I think it was 6 months while they were getting something done on their house. Fantastic couple, absolutely superb. But he used to drink weird shit, and we used to have a little factory a couple of doors down that made or stored soft drinks. So lemonade, Coca-Cola, American cream soda, cherryade, raspberry, all this stuff. And you could just go in there and speak to the lads. You're not supposed to buy it off them, but you just go in there and see them, and can have a couple of bottles of this. Yeah, go ahead, off you go. And he'd be drinking whiskey and cherryade and stuff way before Del Boy ever started. Bizarre. So every time I see Del Boy order a drink, I always think about Harry and Mary. Great couple. They were part of the holiday that we had. We took a 56-seat coach to Rosas in Spain, and there was 4 people who weren't in our family. The other 52 were part of our family. It was absolutely incredible. What an absolutely fantastic holiday that was. Horace is not on strike tonight. Do you want me to prove that for you? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Horace's haikus. Here we go. It has been snowing. Made the woods look bare shit free. Alas, they were not. Poor old Horace. Did you step in something? Is that what it is? Oh no, just looked a mess. No, fair enough. It is biodegradable, Alright, calm down. Horace is going on one as well. Tuesday, Sinterklaas Eve, no drinking, just eating chocolate. Chocolate letters. Oh yeah, chocolate letters, bloody hell, yeah. Very nice. Gin and bitter lemon, yeah. Cointreau and grapefruit. Oh, no, sorry. I was late teens, early 20s, and I went out with my mates, and went somewhere that doesn't exist anymore. Actually, a bar in Southport, and they ran out of tequila. We were having tequila slammers, and they ran out. They started doing this Cointreau slammers, and I was sick as a dog for days afterwards. So just the smell of Cointreau makes me ill, and then I had to use the obviously working behind the bar. I'd have to sell it to people and just smelling it. Ugh, no. Same as Malibu. I got very drunk on that when I was very, very young and threw up all over the place. So now whenever I smell coconut sun cream, I start getting a little bit... Ugh. And then I haven't had a hangover. I've never had hangovers when I was about 22 onwards. Saw Santa and this and a bunch of kids today in the centre of the city. Sang and gave them candy. That's what we like to see. Horace could have had a Sinterklaas poem. Well, we will be on Tuesday, won't we? So, watch this space. You never know. You never know with Horace. Not as bad as aniseed, yeah. So you wouldn't like Pernod. There was a fella who used to drink in the pub. He was from Manchester. He used to drink Pernod and Coke. I used to call it Mersey mud. And if you pour them two together, it does looks a bit like looks a bit like chocolate milk. Funnily enough, it looks horrible. And he used to swear by it. A couple of pints of whatever he was drinking, Guinness, I think it was, and then he go in the Mersey muds. Oh, vile. Yeah, not a fan of aniseed myself. Sorry, I just spat everywhere then. Pisang Ambong and chocolate milk and Baileys. Not good in too big amounts the day after, I can imagine. Pernod, a drink that taints glasses permanently. Yes, it does. Not enough, whatever. What did he call it? I can't remember the name. We used to have Rinseaid and, what was the name of the washing stuff that used to put in glass washers? What was it used to be called? You'd have that, you'd have Rinseaid, the two of them. I can't remember what it was called now. My exploded brain is just not playing ball at all today. It'll come to me. It'll be too late. And, to be honest with you, it's not remotely important. So, if it comes to me or not, doesn't really matter, does it? But I will wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it'll be there. Oh, it was such and such. There you go. That's what it is going to annoy me now, though, so... Just telling you. Yeah, horrible Pernod. Mind you, I've not had a drink in over it. Yeah, I've not had a drink in over a year. How good's that? How many weeks have we left? 3 weeks? Well, just over 3 weeks, isn't it? 3.5, 4 weeks. And then I will have done the whole of 2023 alcohol-free. Detergent, it used to be. Detergent and rinse wash. I knew it would come back to me. But you used to have the big 5 litre things of it. Go and get us a detergent, or go and get us a Rinseaid, not rinse wash, Rinseaid. Detergent and Rinseaid. There you go, I'm back in the George. It's 1991. I know me shizzle inside out. That means I don't have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning in a cold sweat going, fucking detergent. Thank you. Send you Berry Mud for the congratulations, Mandy. Thank you. It wasn't washing up liquid, was it? I mean, never had the hedgehogs either. I don't know if... Do you have these anywhere else in the world? Nederland, Denmark? Do you have hedgehogs? Little bristly things that you put in the sink that you wash glasses on. They always call the hedgehogs. Not allowed to use them. But they were brilliant. Use them. Get all the lipstick off the glasses. Then put them in the dishwasher with detergents and Rinseaid. Yep. Absinthe is rather good with the aniseed taste. I've never had absinthe. And considering I am an 18th century romantic poet with a silk blouse and a quill, why have I never had absinthe? I should have done by now, shouldn't I? But I'm not drinking alcohol, so I can't. Did he do alcohol-free absinthe? Find out for us. You think you have them only in bars, yeah? We're not allowed to have them in bars anymore because they have loads of germs in them, apparently, which is a load of shit. just use them and then put them in the dishwasher afterwards. They get washed at about 9 million degrees anyway, to the point where the glass is almost melting. But absinthe tastes like beschuit met muisjes without the beschuit. Biscuit with mice without the biscuit. Hedgehogs are new gadgets on reels now, are they? Is that the kind of thing that we've never seen these before? They're absolutely fantastic. Yeah, we've had these for the last 300 years. How do we looking into the alcohol-free absinthe? If that's the case, I will sit on one of these live streams and will write a live poem in a silk blouse with a quill while drinking absinthe, alcohol-free absinthe. And that is a promise. That is a positive mental attitude promise, and you can take that to the bank. Bought some German absinthe with a lot of warm wormwood in it. We drank. Oof. Has anyone ever had those weird drinks with stuff in it? Like normally Mexican, isn't it? Because let's face it, the Mexicans are a bit lunatic when it comes to the drinks, putting the worm in the bottom of tequila and things like that. What was the other one? Mezcal. Mezcal sometimes has something in it, doesn't it? And then there's loads of weird stuff. Never had one of them. Never got to the bottom and had the little animal at the bottom, which apparently just soaks up all the alcohol, which is horrible. Yeah, mezcal, isn't it? Why put stuff like that in there? Why'd you do that? Mad, the Mexicans, aren't they? In a good way. I like that. I like Mexicans. There's a good nuttiness about them. Absence makes the fart go Honda. Yeah, a really old punchline. That's an old dad joke as well, that one. Well done, Mandy. In fact, we should have given you the definitely deserve that, really. I don't even know if that played. Did it play? I don't know. Wormwood and absinthe makes you go loopy. Casper, it's the absinthe and absinthe that makes you go fucking loopy, mate. It's nothing to do with the wormwood. Trust you. Put something on the RDA, yep. There's not enough in it to do anything to you. I was thinking about this the other day, actually, with me being a teetotaler. Totally drinking tea. I was wondering what my first alcohol drink would be. No, it didn't play, right? I will change that. In fact, I'm going to make an entire dad joke stinger. That's what we in the profession call them, right? Us button pushers in the profession call them stingers. I will do that. Mezcal worm lives on peyote cactus. Is that why they put them in there? So that when you get to the bottom and have one, you also get the old licking the back of the toad experience. It's all that stuff that sends you a bit weird. I've got a mate in our work, Teddy, who for some reason, whenever we'd go out, would always try and get people on the shots. And you think, why? It's like 5:30 on a Tuesday afternoon, early evening, and we're going out for a pint. We don't need to be hitting the fucking shorts now. Just don't be taking us to bars where you're getting in 76 shots and we have to neck them before we leave. You'd always do that and then we'd lose 4 or 5 days. Stupid. Don't do shots. It is profession. Profession, darling. Love you, darling. Brick a leg, darling. That's what they say to me when I walk in here. 5 to 8 on a Sunday and a Tuesday. Brick a leg, darling. You are fantastic. I watched you on the screen. You smouldered, darling. You smouldered. You had them in the palm of your neck. There you go. I'm convinced there will be people watching this on demand thinking, what the fucking hell is he talking about, this lunatic? Well, you know, Casper, there was more wormwood than was allowed in Denmark. Must have been for a reason. And if it's sending you loopy, it's sending you loopy, no matter what's in there. Steer clear is what I'd say. Don't be drinking it. Don't be licking frogs and toads. Don't be drinking mezcal. Unless, if there's any Mexican firms out there that want to sponsor the stream, fine by me. Just do it as a non-alcoholic mezcal and we'll be happy days. felt different to other alcohol, so it must be something in it that's just having a weird effect on you as well. Ugh. Black Sambuca shots, yeah, not good. Not good at all. But there's no Sambuca is good for you. It can't be good for you. I'm sure it's just, maybe this is the kind of thing that when you have them, that's when you see aliens. It's not from aliens arriving. It's just you're at that point in your life where I've had 27 Sambuca. Fuck me, it's aliens, man. Only a tiny bit of mescaline. Enough's enough, though, isn't it? If it's enough to get you off your tits, it's enough. Don't lick any red mushrooms with white spots. It sounds a very, very wise move. Anything red with white spots shouldn't be licked. Or anything white with red spots shouldn't be licked. Unless it's the king of the mountains in the Tour de France and you're particularly enamoured with him. I don't know. But apart from that, no. Don't drink and drive, smoke weed and fly. Yep. That's a bumper sticker waiting to happen there. Definitely. Or just drink gallons and gallons of tea and pee, which is what I seem to do all day. Which, speaking of which, I'll be needing very, very, very soon, I think. Because that's not even my big cup. It's my second big cup. Some good shizzle that though. I do like my Earl Grey with almond milk. And yes, I know there'll be people out there saying you can't have milk in Earl Grey. You can, I just have. I'm not putting honey and lemon in it because I'm not the lead singer in Led Zeppelin. I don't need to protect my voice, you know what I mean? Oh, the dog's not ready to pee yet. We'll carry on going. Oh, deep asleep? Oh, can't be going on all night. As much as I'd like to and as much as the watch hours would be fantastic. Don't lick a wolf on the mouth. That's the kind of thing that should be written on someone's gravestone, shouldn't it? Here lies No Face Jones. Please don't lick a wolf on the mouth. It snowed, so Legolas doesn't want to go out anyway. That's, yeah, wise. Not daft, is he? Do not go out. Should make tea in my thermos. I should do, actually, which I have done a couple of times, but I'd have to make it a little bit earlier because it stays face meltingly hot for 8 to 9 hours. Can't be doing that. Arvin loves sleeping in the snow for some reason. She is weird. Yeah. Some animals love that, don't they? I don't know if they're used to snow or not, but just running through it, lying in it, playing in it, they seem to love it. Yeah, it's also an invitation for a pullover, as is the cold weather. Always good to have a pullover, unless it's from someone going woo 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 woo. We don't need that, do we? Although I'd be alright because there's nothing in my system apart from Earl Grey. Your family dog loves the cold. She's half lassie, half Greenland sled dog. Well, yeah, bred for it, absolutely bred for it. And Aaron gets a much thicker coat, more sled dog genes, right? So of course they love. I mean, again, I've seen a couple of programs with sled dogs. Top Gear, the race to the pole, when Richard Hammond was with Maddie, wasn't it, the woman, and their dogs, they love hanging around on the snow because it cools them down. You think it's like minus 40. What do you mean it cools you down? You must be freezing. They're not. They're absolutely full of it. Great dogs. Dogs are great anyway in general, aren't they? I'm more of a dog person than a cat person, has to be said. Yeah, does it fall off in great big chunks? Yep, autumn and spring falls off. It needs to in spring. You can't go to the summer with a big on fur coat. Not good for you. Not good at all. They are great. And of course, if you're going over the Arctic with a sled with dogs on, They will tell you when the ice is starting to get too thin because they'll spread out. They won't just keep on running in one sort of Father Christmas reindeer line because they'll end up going through the stuff so they all spread out. At that point, you know, whoa, let's get off here now and go see if we can find somewhere a bit thicker. Your family dog sheds a lot as well, yeah. They will do, won't they? That really thick coat. We had an old English sheepdog which was absolutely covered in the stuff. And we had to go and take her and get shaved. Get the clippers out. So she ended up looking like a goat for about 3 or 4 months. During the summer it was unfair to leave her the way she was. Yeah, there's always cat and dog everywhere. There always is, isn't there? Some of your hair too as well. Yeah, right. Of course. Human hair everywhere. Especially ladies' human hair. Because it's longer and it shows up more. When yours is short like mine is and grey. It just doesn't appear anywhere. Barnesy, you prefer dogs but end up with cats by accident? It always seems to be the way, doesn't it? Such is life, you were meant for that to happen. How do we like cats and dogs equally? Much my experience with cats is one that I can't quite remember when I was about 3. Marmaduke, little orange cat, I remember that. But apart from that, not much. And then my nan's cat, which was an absolutely evil little bastard, Thomas. White Siamese, gorgeous looking thing, but evil. Jeff would have loved it. Used to be all nice and purry and, you know, fluttering the eyelashes, and you walk over and go to stroke it and they come out with the claws and just go fuck off right down your face. Bastard. Your mum puts it in the trees, and birds take it and insulate the nests. Yeah, they do, don't they? They also tend to take wool off razor wire when sheep have been up next to it. They can go and take a little bit of that, which is really good for the nests. Must be really nice for them. Like most animals that aren't mosquitoes, ticks or mange. Yep. Most of them are sound. Not all, but most of them are. Mosquitoes are little bastards. We don't really get them over here that much, to be honest. I think we're lucky. If you go to Scotland, you get midges, which are annoying, but we don't really get mosquitoes as much. Nowhere near as much as some places. Which is weird because it's a moist country. Yeah, don't give the hair to the birds after you've defleed and deticked them. Toxic for the baby birds. We don't want that. Make sure it's pre-defleeing. And Jeff is back to his Prince and Tom Jones, which means they do that though, don't they though? They do though. I don't talk like that, do I? I thought I sounded very erudite, very well spoken. This is some great content. Just read that on Switch. Soundness, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, I'm going to have to go and put my feet up and chillax. I'm not going to break into song. Don't worry about that. I can't sing at the moment. I used to be able to sing. I can't. It's bizarre. Even in the car on my own. I can't really sing. No, I didn't. No, not sing. I know it's a prison, but you know, if you heard me sing at the moment, I should be in prison. But for someone who's played guitar and sung for decades, even though I've not got a great voice, I can carry a tune. And I do sound pretty northern, and I've got a smock, and I'm tall, I can stride. Barnsley, I'd look great in Manchester, mate. I've got the walk down perfectly. But yeah, I can't sing at the moment. So eventually, at some point, hopefully, my brain will allow me to sing and play guitar again. And when I do, I will not be doing it on stream because you don't deserve that at all. That's certainly erudite. Donkeyville had a week. I try. One tries. Going to go and wake the doggies, yep. Now I'll go and pour myself a much needed glass of alcohol-free red wine because we're hardcore here, man. Hardcore, you know the score. That's where the camera is, and I'm pointing there where the fucking screen is. How stupid's that? Shows you how tired I am. And there's no Red Dwarf tonight, which is evil. Dave, if you're watching. Not Dave, but, you know, the channel Dave, if you're watching. Sort your shit out, man. Barnesy, cheers, mate. No worries. See you later. Well, take care, and don't forget.
All right, let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
And that's that.